Nesta. Gonna play a Sal. Yeah, gets beat. Gets muscled off. Uh-oh. Okay. One more chance here for the Dons. A Sal. Ah, full time. Oh. Where do I start? Hold on. It's funny because I said, where do I start? That's the first thing I said after the last game against Cambridge. Again, I didn't upload that video, so apologies for that one. We're going to be uploading this one to YouTube, this post-match analysis. Where do I start? That was probably the most emotional game that I've seen since Morecambe 4-3. But this one was a lot more directed towards AFC Wimbledon. That one was back and forth, right? It was all Wimbledon. I have not seen this much of a domination from AFC Wimbledon. To be fair, Charlton did go 10 men down. And that's a major factor as to why we peppered so many chances and opportunities, put so many crosses in the box. And honestly, I think we took very good, well, after the first 5 or 10 minutes after they went 10 men down, I think we were kind of sloppy. And we got a little too casual. And it did allow Charlton to kind of catch us sleeping a little bit and break the deadlock. But I'll get into that in a second. 80% of the game, I'd say AFC Wimbledon did decent. Let me start off. I have a bunch of notes. Let me start off from the beginning. So, first 20 minutes or so, I'd say AFC Wimbledon did a decent job knocking around a little bit. They didn't engage in empty possession per se. They didn't knock it around just for the sake of knocking it around. But they were a little bit patient. They tried to find those balls into the box. And there was one instance where Rudy, on the left side, he was pointing to Osu to make a run. Played a little chip ball over to Osu, and then he tried to get a cross off. It was blocked, and then Dobson had the ball. Rudy dispossessed him, and then it couldn't amount to anything there. But also Henry Lawrence in the 22nd minute, Woodyard switched it over to him. Great first touch to bring it down, and then he tried to take it to the center and drew the foul there. Or his first touch actually took him towards the center. He drew the foul. First 20 minutes, I think AFC Wimbledon were a little bit more confident in the final third. Charlton put a lot of cross into the box. I think defensively, we had good shape in the first 20 minutes, forcing the likes of Jayasimi and Matthews, the outside back, to go back out to the center mid, or cross after cutting back instead of crossing it, with their left foot on the left side or right foot on the right side. And we won a lot of headers. Ben Hennigan, Nightingale did a very good job in the air, keeping Stockley at bay. After that, it started to shift a little bit towards Charlton's side. We sat back a lot. We invited a lot of pressure. And Charlton did press us a little bit when we were on the ball. We played a little bit sloppy. We played it back to Zanev a few times. Zanev kind of whiffed a couple clearances. Not the best distribution. Kind of expected with Zanev, though, quite honestly. And there was one moment where Ben Hennigan, he received it from George Marsh. George Marsh turned, spun out, and then Hennigan played him back, and it bounced off the back part of Marsh's heel. And then Matthews was running onto it. Thankfully, Matthews took an extra touch, and his cross went straight to Zanev as the cross was played from almost out of the touchline. It was just inside the touchline, or the goal line. You get the idea. Took a little bit too long to cross it, thankfully. Zanev did a good job today in terms of collections, in terms of punches. He made himself good, imposing presence, coming out and collecting a couple crosses, punching a couple crosses out. Distribution kind of poor, like I mentioned. But first half, really not too much to talk about. Aside from Jack Rodoni. Jack Rodoni, oh my God. I love Jack Rodoni in that center attacking mid position. Well, center mid position, but he plays more as an attacking mid. A lot more freedom to do as he pleases. He took a few touches towards the final third, taking men on with pace. And he tried to find a couple of incisive passes, one to Zach Robinson, which got poked away by the defender, and then it went back to Rodoni, and he tried to take a shot on, but he got dispossessed right before he took the shot on. But Rodoni tried to find a couple of incisive through balls. They didn't come off, but I liked the confidence that he possessed. His first touch was brilliant. There were a couple of times where he got himself out of pressure through his good first touch, or there was a switch of the play. His first touch brought him down. Overall, I liked what I saw from Rodoni, and I think we defended decently enough. Second half, what can I say about that challenge? I mean, I already put my 2 cents in the stream. I was shocked as the center back Ennis came on after an injury. Terrible challenge. One of the worst challenges I've ever seen. His first touch took him out, and then he just came careening in. His left foot left the ground a good yard off the ball. It was knee height almost. And George Marsh, thankfully, was okay after that one. He got a red card. But after that, AFC Wimbledon just kind of sat back a little bit. And it didn't sit back, I should say. But they were a little bit content, slow in possession. And Charlton, kept pressing. And like I mentioned in the first half, Charlton pressed, forced a couple of errors. Same thing there after they went 10 men down. And the goal resulted from a heavy first touch from the outside back Williams around Osu. And Osu tried to get back, tried to recover with pace. You got to bring him down, man. You got to bring him down. Take the yellow card if you're Osu. Because he went all the way, took touches, and just drove it. Drove a cross in, easy cross there to Connor Washington. All he had to do was head it home. Or sorry, it was Stockley. My bad. Stockley was the one who scored that one. But anyway, after that was a wake-up call. That was a wake-up call from AFC Wimbledon after going 1-0 down. Good responses right away after that goal as Asal, was holding it up, and then he took a touch away from Dobson. Or no, it was it was an off-the-ball run. He made an off-the-ball run, received a pass from Henry Lawrence, and then he took a heavy touch, anticipating the challenge from Dobson, and Dobson just barely mistiming the challenge. He was just barely, a good couple inches away from getting the ball there, but Dobson on the yellow. That was actually a couple minutes before the red card, sorry. Then the red card came 2 minutes after. And then a couple minutes after the red card, Chuka actually marauded forward, and Paul Osu, confidence. I said Paul Osu, I've given some stick for not having that confidence to take a couple touches into the final third. That game against Wigan especially, he kept playing it back to the center mid or taking a touch back, cutting it back. But Osu did good. He played a couple good crosses, and in the 58th minute, took a heavy touch around the defender, drove it low and hard down the 6, and Chuka tried to get a redirect, but the defender came in the challenge. Another instance a couple minutes later, Osu tried to drive another cross low. Not too low. The keeper palmed it out. And then I'm all over the place. Those two crosses I mentioned were right before the goal. That happened in the 70th minute. And then after that, ASU only kept piling on the pressure, kept crossing, piling on the pressure. 86th minute, Nesta against Walker missed an opportunity to steer it towards goal on the corner kick. He had the position, but he didn't get the header. Thankfully, it led to another corner. Didn't amount to anything. They kept piling on the pressure, AFC Wimbledon. And eventually, they found their way in. Ethan Chislett coming on. Very positive. Tried to take a couple touches to set himself up for potential crosses. Put a couple crosses into the box. One of them which led to a goal. Back post was Zach Robinson. First goal of the season. Really impressed with what I saw from Robinson too. Aside from one or two instances where his touch got away from him, he kind of got tangled with his feet a little bit as he was trying to hold it up. Aside from that, though, there were a couple times where he tried to drive, try to take a few touches into the final third. Didn't have too much of an overall impact in the game, but I like what I saw in terms of, his desire to try to create chances. One, maybe 2 or 3 headers, held the ball up okay. But overall, I think the players of the game for me were Rodoni. Asal also did good on the off-the-ball press. Under Mark Bowen, we're sitting back a lot, but Asal pressed a lot. Henry Lawrence was consistent before he came off eventually in the 70-something minute. Defensively, he was good. On the attack, he was providing. Woodyard and Marsh were getting stuck into challenges, and then the back three, Hennigan, Nightingale, Chuka, did pretty well for the most part. I think it's just, we switched off on that goal, and overall, I think we played very well. Morecambe, unfortunately, won their game against Oxford 2-1. Not sure how Oxford didn't get a goal in that second half. Fleetwood 1-1 against Lincoln. Honestly, this game could have easily gone our way, and it honestly should have gone our way. Honestly, we could have gotten a goal, too. I forgot to mention, we could have gotten a goal a few minutes before we actually scored. Woodyard had a good ball to Rodoni. A very incisive one. Famewo came sliding in, came back up, made another sliding challenge on Asal. Famewo just came, You know, he came on as a substitute, as a defender. And the double challenge there prevented AFC Wimbledon from scoring in the 89th minute instead of the 92nd minute. Obviously, 8 minutes of stoppage time gave us plenty of time to get that final goal that we desperately needed. But I thought collectively we played well. Honestly, we did play well. But that's not... Okay, I'm not going to say, okay, we play well, I'm going to settle, right? We need to keep this up. We need to keep playing like this. And we need to just keep going after it. Keep getting after it. I'm going to make this one short and sweet. That's just my post-match reaction. No analysis from the Facebook group, unfortunately. I do have to head out right now. But I hope you guys might like the analysis nonetheless. Go ahead and check out the stream, by the way. I had so many moments in that second half where I was just like, oh, yeah, oh. Like, I was just constantly throughout the half, my emotions were running. So go check out the stream, especially the second half, if you would like to see some of my reactions. I'll try to get a video uploaded later today on my reactions from the stream. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one.